Good afternoon, and today is King 9 of Hearts. So this is a full ring table, but we are currently five-handed. Cut off limps, he's playing 22-5, nothing too out of the ordinary. From the cutoff, his raise first in's been 4 out of 34, so 12%. I do think he's probably dealing with speculative hands here. I would assume he would have raised, jacks plus ace queen probably. So he might be limping with maybe some of these suiteds. He doesn't seem like he's overly aggressive. So, maybe he just limps with like the king queens. Maybe these offsuit broadways. I think maybe just like that. And it's on us, and I'm gonna say we should be raising our standard set. Only this guy seems to be over, on the looser side of things. He's playing 23%, or I'm sorry, 32% with 26% call two bets. From the small blind, he's called 26%. This guy's called 23% from his big blind. He's called 30%. So, and I have a lot of hands on all three of these players. So, I do think he's got some stuff. So raise first in with ace king, and then check calls. So I raise. I think 4 big blinds is okay. It doesn't have to be overly large to encourage folds, especially against those two players. So I get folds, and then I get a call. Is this guy gonna call with the same hands that he limps with? I think so. Maybe he gets rid of these offsuits. Maybe even jack 10, so that he's a little bit tighter. So you can see, maybe fold about 25% or so. We can look at a 562 hands. He limps and folds from the cutoff 50%. It's only 2 times now, so 1 out of 2 he's folded. Probably not enough hands to kind of figure out his range. So we're going to say this is his pre-flop raise. We're looking at 15.8% form, 210 combos. I'm going to have a wider range than him, but I also have the nuts advantage because I have kings plus ace king in my range. So let's see what we have on the board. So we've got 10 high, 7 of spades, 2 of hearts. This definitely does not really hit him. It doesn't really hit either of us overly hard. My range's equity is 50.6. His is 49.4. I still have advantage because I have those big pocket pairs. He checks. I think he's going to be checking 100% of his range, and now it's on us. What should we do? I think first we have to think about how often he's going to call, and quite frankly, even if he calls with all of his middle pair plus hands and his gut shots, you can see that he's only calling 34.9%. So I don't think this board hits him very hard. I think we're going to have a very wide betting range. We're going to be doing 2-card backdoor flushes. All of those, I think our value will include these 8s and 9s. I think middle pair is going to get a little bit of value from like 4s and 5s, at least one street, and may also get some value with maybe some of the straight draws, 8, 9. I do think we're probably going to be betting the vast majority of our hands here because we're going to take advantage of the fact that he is going to be folding a lot. So any pair, even the bottom pairs, overcards, backdoor flush, I think we're betting all of those. So 77.4, and you can see the breakdown. We're about 60-40 bluff to value. That's going to be my c-bet range, and my c-bet's going to probably be about 5 big blinds, maybe 6 big blinds. I don't think we have to go I don't think we have to go more than 2/3 because he's not going to be continuing a whole lot, and I don't think he continues even if we, bet 2/3 versus half. So let's see what happens. So I bet 2/3, and he calls. So we're gonna say this is my C betting range. I would have liked him to fold a little bit, but I know that if he calls, he's probably has something like this middle pair plus with some of these draws. His fold to C bet 50 when he's in position, 65 when he's out of position, and then it's 100%. So it's possible that he also is calling with some of these overcards. I mean, it's possible, but I think he's going to be pretty tight. I've got position on him, and it's not like I've been overly loose. So 34.9. We have 66 hands that pass through the filters, and then 9 of spades hits on the turn. So you can see my equity just plummets because I think if he calls, he's going to have a lot of these hands that could have just hit 2 pair, or the draws that now have hit 1 pair hands. Obviously, if we had a spade, that improves our equity, and I think we could bet it if this improves us to add a gut shot or open in a straight draw. That improves us, but I think we have to realize that this 9 is probably a bad card for us, at least to bluff on. So villain checks. I think he's going to be checking his entire range, and you would see middle pair plus, pocket pair below the second card, 8s. Weak pairs to 7s. I mean, you're looking at this hit him, this hit him. So now it's on us. What do we do? So I do think there's going to be a lot of hands that call. So I think we're going to be betting top pair plus. I don't think we're going to be betting middle pair at all. I think we're going to be checking those. I think our flush draws. I think we could bet the flush draw now because if the spade gets there on the river, I'm not sure if he's going to call. So I think we bet our flush draws now. Our open and straight draws. I think we could probably go. It can probably go either way. So do our open and straight draws. I don't think I'd continue with our gut shots. I think we're getting too wide at this point, so I think 50-50. I think this is our betting range, and we're gonna get called quite a bit. So I didn't bet that. So let's X those out. So that's going to be my checking range. My checking range still has some draws. I still have some gut shots. I still have some pairs that can improve. So it's not like my checking range is just all junk. I do have some hands, and he still has 100% of his range, but I think most of this range would have called a bet anyways. So he still has 60 combos. And then the river is 3 clubs. I think that misses all of our draws, and you can see that really with the check, that 3 doesn't really improve anything. Doesn't improve doesn't hit my gut shots, doesn't really improve the possible 2 pair. Now if we had a hand like a queen, a king, or an ace, now that could change things a little bit. So he checks. Since we checked the turn, I am going to assume that he would bet his straight for value, his set for value, and his 2 pair for value. It is possible that he also bets his top pair for value, at least some of the time. Let's say his top pair that he bets for value is ace 10 and king 10. Let's say he bets those for value. Yes, let's get those out and checks these others. So if he checks, I think we're looking at that. And the question then becomes, Does he fold any of these? I don't think he folds a 10. I don't think he folds a 9. I don't think he folds 8s. I honestly don't think he folds 7. I think no matter what, in order to get the 7s and 8s and probably the 9s to fold, I think we're going to have to overbet the pot. And really, Villain only has 31 left. And that's kind of why I think on the turn, it didn't really improve us. If we're going to bet, we're going to have to push him all in. I think he's going to be calling with a lot of the hands because it's going to hit him in some way, give him a draw, improve him to a pair plus a draw or something like that. So I think all we can do is really check. Obviously, we can bet our straight, but all this other stuff, I don't think so. And I think even with our set, we're going to be betting on the low end, half pot maybe. So what do? I checked, and he shows 6s. Does he have 6s in his range? No, I actually took those out. I took those out on the board, pocket pair below second card. But I don't think that changes it. If we know that he has those hands in his range, then when that 9 of spades comes out, it's still, I think we could justify maybe if we bet he's still continuing 60%. And the weak pair, he's still continuing with quite a few of those weak pairs, even I think with the 6s. So let's take those out. Let's just say he continues with that. You see 75%. He's only folding 25%, so I still like my check behind on the turn. And then, yeah, on the river, we have a showdown value hand. I think we're probably only going to get called. I'm not sure if 6s could call here, so I think the hands that call, probably the 10s, probably the 9s. And he'll probably fold everything else, so I just don't think we're going to get value for it. All right, so hopefully you enjoy this look tomorrow for another hand.